Happy Wednesday. It's probably going to be Thursday by the time you see this if it shows up on your feed. Robots with Coffee Paul here, and been an exciting week. Been an exhausting week. A couple things have happened, and just been running around since basically Monday afternoon until earlier today. This evening, I've been running back and forth between the post office and getting boxes and some supplies here and there. I just used up like my third roll of tape. I have sent out most of the Kickstarter packages, so I got a couple more to go. A couple things here and there have popped up, and I'm talking to people. So if you haven't gotten it yet, if you're following along, heaven's sake, and you haven't sent me your information, send me your information so I can get it out there. Otherwise, a couple people that I have to do a few things for so I can make it look good and get you what you paid for. Everybody else, it's out the door. A couple of you are picking up at TFCon. Everybody else, your stuff is out the door, and some of you have even gotten it. And I'm really stoked to hear what you think. If you like the book, if you like the Princess Robo, if you ordered that we know what you think of the stickers, what you think of the paper dolls, or the button. I'd love to hear from you. So let me know if you're watching this. That'd be great. In the meantime, I can go on and on and on about all the other stuff that happened this week. Stuff happened, but nothing happened. So what I'll do is I'll just move this out of the way, and I'll move on to the next thing, which is my comic haul. I'm not sure what the reason was behind ordering Extra Sisters, as I know Ian Boothby, but I don't know the rest of the team, Giselle, Gase. I haven't even cracked it open yet. So it's a nice title. I'm not too fond of buying just like random number ones for Image, and sometimes I forget to follow up. I really need to keep following up, but I was going to go somewhere with that. But I'll keep checking it out if it's good. At least for Image Comics, even though there might be a glut of number ones and miniseries or whatever, at least these books have planned endings. So if I do stick with it, I'll get an end at some point. And that includes like Walking Dead. Walking Dead has a planned ending, although I'll just admit right now I stopped reading it after 127. That's just my own preference and nothing against anybody or any other reason for the book. Okay, moving on. William the Last by our pal Brian Scherer. He's already self-published a book, William the Last, but Guardian Knight, which I think is Antarctic Press, is now printing the book. So that's cool. And it might be one of the best-selling Antarctic Press books out right now. Good for him. Congratulations on getting it out there and getting someone to publish it, even though you were self-publishing it. And I'm going to keep supporting this book. I haven't even cracked this open yet, so no spoilers. I don't know what goes on to choosing the cover, though, and I may have said this, and I've even said it to the people. Oh, it's Andrew Griffith has got a and Sarah Peter. If you don't know, Sarah Peter DeRocher did one of our Kickstarter paper dolls. So, final issues are on the way. Blah 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 blah. Oh, there's the cover. I don't know why I went with it's Andrew Griffith. I just tend to go with Griffith and Casey Collar, even though everybody who works for the covers, even though everybody else who works on it they're all great. Last book is the one that I love the most, Stray Bullets. This is always going to be one of my favorite books, and I don't know how much longer. This is a $5 cover price. I didn't even realize that. So I don't know if it's longer. You do get your bang for your buck with these books, though. I can't recommend this series enough. So if you see $5 and you're start from scratch, and you'll see if it's worth it. But this is one of the best books on the market and always will be. Okay, let's do a real quick doodle here. I was out. I have to go to bed soon, so I don't know why I went out, but I went out, and I'm using the rough paper. And someone says, "Do you still draw Sad Vigilante?" And the answer is yes, but not lately. And I have a comic that I'm working on that I should probably finish, especially if people are going to ask me about him, because people like Sad Vigilante. If you don't know, I have a superhero character named Sad Vigilante. He fights crime. His real name is he's a millionaire named Bruce Vigilante. His parents were Thomas and Martha Vigilante, and he fights crime. He's a detective. Oh man, this is where you can see it's not even worth saving this pen. I gotta throw that pen out. It's done. It went as long as I could. What about this one here? Oh, that's better. There's another one that's split, and we'll probably be on the way out the door. But that one, you'll see why I just abandoned project. Right off the bat. Again, it's a really rough paper. So, that was me sneezing, sorry. Most even drawing, but a little beat. I think I may have been sick, but I can't figure out how. If it's just too dry in my apartment, and if I don't remember talking about this in other, my other posts, it's because I'm probably sick. Yeah. So anyway, I was out tonight, and someone said, "Do you still draw said Vigilante?" And it's like, yeah, I just haven't. Because I've been drawing dopey-looking robots and working on the coloring book and Princess Robo so much. So, and I also had some freelance things pop up, that some of which I still need to look at. But he'll write again, and I would like to finish that book. What I said was I was working on a Sad Vigilante comic, a full length, if anyone cares, and I'm at page 13, and it's like a 22 or 24 page story, and I want to get it right, and it's not been the easiest year. Again, most of my energy has been working on Robots with Coffee directly with the coloring book. And those are like easier things to do. With the comic, working on a comic page and the comic page format, so it's harder in the sense that I want to get it right, and I don't do it the same way. I don't draw it the same way. And if I make a mistake with the robot, it becomes part of the robot's personality. I leave him in most of the time. But with Sad Vigilante, I want there to be consistent detail, and I want that to be to look like a comic, even if it's a ridiculous comic. So I want it to look like I made the effort. Although I don't make the effort with Robots with Coffee, but I do. But at this point, it's just so much more fluid for me, and so much more. It's less planned, And the coloring book is, I did work on the writing and the editing a lot, and my friend Devana, who used to be in Hired Goons, helped me work on the editing a lot. And I just wanted to make sure I got that right. And I go back and write, make sure it's funny, and make sure that it makes sense and that it's readable. And but the drawings are just the drawings that I had, and it's the kind of project that looks like it could be all loose, because it was. Some of them were some of my first drawings for Robots with Coffee that weren't fan art, So. It's not in alphabetical order, but hopefully you can sort of see my progression. And that's the other thing, is I had to create 3 more pages for the coloring book from scratch. And to do that, I had to go and look. I mean, when you read it, it'll make sense. But to do that, I had to go back and look at how I drew those characters to make sure they matched, because I like to think I improved. But I wanted to look consistent when when the stuff I'm working on shows up. That I drew like in a period of like 3 years that I chose the best of, in a way. I wanted to make sure that when I was revisiting it, it all looked consistent. But you'll see that there is a progression. That some are better than others, maybe, or some aren't just things that I threw at the wall. There's nothing wrong with throwing stuff at the wall. Okay, there's Sad Vigilante, using my broken pens and thick pens, and yeah. So there you go. Comics I bought. Update. Just trying to stay afloat and get this stuff done and not let distractions distract me, of which there were many, and they were serious. But it's all working now. Ta-da! So again, if you donated to the Kickstarter, share your photos of the Kickstarter of your haul when you get it. All right. I would love to hear from you, and I'd love to know what you think. All right, we're coming at 12 minutes, so I'll see you later.